sure we're on the right road?
Edward knows what he's doing. Don't you, Edward?
Angus said there was a shortcut to his place up a little track. Yes, but this doesn't look like a thoroughfare.
Edward knows what he's doing. Where are you? I told you to keep your eye on the road.
I kept my eye on the road, darling. I couldn't help it. I got confused. Push everybody! Lucky that farmer came along with a tractor.
Nothing's lucky about anything. We're all soaking wet and there's nobody here.
Yes, that's funny. Where is Angus and Tammy?
In future, I'm going to wear a frogman's outfit in the car.
It looked like a road.
Angus?
Well, I'll get the range working, then we can all dry off.
Tammy!
Poltergeists. Get him, who's you're not come to take me to home.
Tammy? Is that you? It's your Uncle Jack.
Who?
You remember, we've come to stay with you and your dad for a fortnight's holiday. Your Uncle Edward wrote your dad a letter.
I did right. I did.
Thought you were the people come to take me to home.
Now, why would anyone want to take you to a home?
Because Dad's run off, that's why.
Run off.
Edward, do light the boiler. We're all very wet.
Right. Tammy, what exactly happened?
I told you, you're dead for just playing stupid. And she obviously likes you.
Tammy,
Who are you?
I'm your Aunt Elizabeth, your father's cousin. We haven't seen each other since you were very small.
You don't look anything like my dad. He's good looking.
Well, you're not so hot yourself. I've seen best-looking cod.
Hold it. Michael, that was uncalled for.
Yes, say sorry.
Sorry.
How long is it since your dad went off?
2 days ago, he said he was going fishing.
Have you been in touch with the police?
No, I didn't want to get him into any trouble.
Or yourself taken into a home? Right, well, that's the answer.
What is?
I'm going to change into some dry clothes, and then Tammy and I can go to the police station and find out if there's been any news of him.
No!
Well, suit yourself. But he's my cousin, and I'm worried about him, so I'm going.
The range is working.
Wait, I'm coming with you. It's my dad.
Well, if she's going, so are we.
Right.
Well, I suggest we all change and have a cup of tea first.
Tea? Fine, if you want to wait 2 hours for the range to heat up.
Ah. Tammy, is there a cafe nearby?
Turn the road and turn left.
What? Hey, you! Come back here! Not me!
Kate, you look after Uncle Jack.
Do I
I'm
look
going
like
after
a
the thief.
purse snatcher?
Oh, look worse than that. I'm sure I've seen your face on the news.
I'm on a lot. I'm an environmentalist.
I might have known. I'd never trust a man who reads the weather.
But I tell you, I didn't do anything.
That's what they all say.
But he didn't. He's our uncle.
So you're this wee girl's uncle, eh?
Yes.
That's despicable, getting children involved in a life of crime.
We weren't involved. He was chasing after the man who did it.
Is this or is this not the man, Mrs. McGregor?
Well, it all happened so quickly.
We caught him, Uncle Jack.
That lady, that old bag over there.
Tammy.
Is this your bus, madam?
Yes, it is. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, mister. But you must admit you are suspicious, because you're a foreigner.
What exactly is going on?
These 2 children here brought my attention to this character and said they've been following him as a suspected purse snatcher.
Good heavens, it's Fingers MacDonald.
An apt name.
McHugh, sir, get those handcuffs off this man immediately. Then take this lady through to the interview room and get a statement from her. You are an incompetent idiot.
But, Dad...
And don't call me Dad when we're on duty.
No, Dad.
As for him, take him through and book him.
Right, Uncle Huey.
And don't call me Uncle when we're on duty.
Come on, come on. Come on.
I must apologise for the incompetence of one of my staff.
Oh, that's all right. Thanks to the children, the real villain's been caught.
If there's anything I can do for you...
Well, actually, there is.
Oh.
Yes, we were on our way to see you about my cousin, Angus McIntosh. He went fishing on the loch a couple of days ago and hasn't been home since. This is his daughter, Tammy.
Angus McIntosh. Oh, he was always doing that, going off for days at a time. It often happens up here. Why, my own grandfather went down to the shops to get some screws for a chair I was making, and it was 3 months before we saw him again.
3 months?
What did you do?
I used nails instead.
I think they mean about your grandfather.
Oh, him, nothing. We knew he'd turn up, like Angus. He was always a bit of a rover, was Angus.
Yes, I know, but that was before his wife Maggie died. Since he's had to look after Tammy on his own, he's been more responsible.
Maybe. 2 days ago, you say?
Yes, right.
Well, there's been no signs of any wreckage or anything being washed up from the loch, but I'll ask people to keep their eyes out for him. However, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me to find that he just turns up. You know Angus.
Tammy, does your father always launch his boat from the same place?
Yes. So?
Well, how about telling us where that is? Who knows? We may be able to find some clues as to where he's gone. You do want to find your father, don't you? Oh, look! There's Loch Noch!
Kept his boat down there, through these trees.
McLog Marine Research Base.
Private.
Keep out.
I wonder what that means.
Out!
I beg your pardon?
Can you not read? This is private property.
This fence wasn't here 2 days ago.
Well, it is now to stop snoopers getting near the edge of the loch. You'll have to use the main path over there.
We're looking for Mr. McIntosh.
Never heard of him.
Well, he launched his fishing boat from here 2 days ago and hasn't been seen since.
There's been no sign of anybody here with a fishing boat.
You call me a liar, fish face.
Listen, you horrible child.
Mr. McIntosh always launched his boat from around here.
That may well be, but that would be before the fence was put up. He's not here now. Now leave. Otherwise, I'll summon assistance and have you forcibly removed.
But you can't.
Oh, come along, Kate. Come on, children. I don't want you getting into trouble.
I wonder where Angus is.
Probably run off to get away from that awful daughter of his.
Edward, she is my relation. And the poor child has been abandoned. We must make allowances for her. Now, will you help me to carry these reference books up to our room?
Do you really need all these, Elizabeth?
I'm going to be finding out the history of Scotland while we're here. The weight of this knowledge will improve my mind.
The weight of this knowledge will make my arms grow longer.
Honestly, Edward, here I am working my fingers to the bone, and there you are sitting down.
We're back.
Edward, make allowances. Any news about Angus?
I'm afraid not. The police weren't all that interested. They seem to think he'll just turn up.
We went down to the loch. I think there's something odd going on there.
Michael, really?
No, I think Michael's right. Think about it. 2 days ago, Angus disappears. And 2 days ago, a high security fence goes up in exactly the same place. It does look like more than just coincidence.
Now, Jack, don't you start.
What do you mean, start?
You know perfectly well what I mean. You always poke your nose into things and get us into trouble.
I do not always poke my nose in.
Yes, you do.
No, I
I think
don't.
the people at the loch are up to
And
something.
if I do...
Maybe the police are right. Maybe Dad has just, run off. You know who we need to get to the bottom of this mystery, don't you? Yes, by the sound of it, James Bond.
sir.
You might try pushing, Agent 7. Well, here we are, Agent 7. Our Scottish office.
Oh, gosh. Hasn't been used recently, has it, sir?
Unfortunately, we haven't been at war with Scotland for some years.
Shall I get dusting, sir?
No, we haven't got time for that. We've got to get started on Operation Loch Noch as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
Right, let us recap on what we know already.
Yes, sir.
A large amount of toxic chemical waste has been dumped near the entrance to the loch.
Check.
The sea has forced the toxic waste into the fresh water of the loch, where it has formed a terrible cocktail of chemicals which is contaminating all the animate objects in the region of the loch.
Check.
You have to keep on saying check, Agent 7.
Checkmate.
Well, there's a serious danger that these animate objects might be changed into horrible toxic monsters.
Oh, gosh. Sir, what exactly is an animate object?
Well, to start with, Agent 7, you are one.
Oh, gosh, sir.
Oh, gosh, indeed, Agent 7. Ah, the McLeod Company. Are they goodies or are they baddies?
Oh, baddies, definitely, sir.
Yes, well, if that's the case, we mustn't arouse their suspicions. We don't know for certain if they are baddies. That is why we're here. Why has the McLeod Waste Disposal Company set up a research station on the side of the loch? And what are they researching?
Well, they say they're hunting for the Loch Noch monster, sir.
I know that's what they say they're doing, but people don't always tell the truth. If they did, we might be out of work.
Yes, sir. Sir?
Oh, yes, Agent 7?
What plans do we have if we should meet the Loch Noch monster?
The Loch Noch monster is a myth.
A myth? As opposed to a mithter or a mythiv? Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
The Loch Noch monster doesn't exist!
Well, then, what are the McLeod Company doing here, sir?
Well, that's what we're here to find out. And to do so, we need to be fit and ready for anything. So I suggest a little unarmed combat practice tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Well, that is when the big hand is on the 12 and the equal hand is on the 9.
I knew what you meant, sir. I was just wondering where we would practice.
And here, of course.
Here, sir? But isn't it rather small? And the floor doesn't feel very strong, sir. We don't want to break anything.
Oh, nonsense, Agent 7. This building has stood for 200 years and will stand for 200 more. 900.
900? I thought you said 200, sir.
Hours! Tomorrow morning, in combat gear.
Right, sir. Oh, sorry, sir.
Morning, Jack. You're up early.
Yes, I've been doing some phoning round.
Who to?
Oh, the police again, and just now the air-sea rescue people in case Angus's boat had turned up out at sea.
No luck.
None.
Well, Elizabeth says...
Oh, I know what Elizabeth says. But I can't believe Angus would just go off and leave Tammy like this.
Well, perhaps he's lost his memory and wandered off somewhere. It does happen, you know.
Someone would have found him. I still think that high-security fence down by the loch has got something to do with his disappearance. After all, it's where he launched his boat.
Where are you going?
For an early morning walk.
You're not going to get into any trouble, are you, Jack? Only... we're supposed to be on holiday. And you know what Elizabeth's like when you upset things?
Edward, when do I ever upset things?
All the time.
Get away from my things! I was only looking at your books. Well, don't. I don't want you and your friends poking noses into my business. You're a real pain, do you know that? Who are you calling a pain? Uncle Jack is doing his best to find your dad, and all you can do is be rotten. My dad will come back when he's good and ready.
What's going on? I can hear you two argue next door. You'll bring Mum in.
She called me a pain. And you are. I hate you all.
What on earth is all this shouting about?
Tammy's being rotten.
There. I'm here.
combat practice.
Right now, Agent 7.
Right, sir.
Be warned, Agent 7. I shall show you no mercy.
Right, sir.
I shall move like lightning. I shall overpower you with these hands, which are deadly weapons.
Right, sir.
Ha!
So sorry, sir. I didn't mean to hurt you.
You didn't hurt me, Agent 7. That was an Oriental war cry.
Right, sir.
Be prepared to be attacked.
Sir? Sir! Oh, I'm glad I didn't bother with the dusting.
Now, what have we here?
You'll stay like that if you're not careful.
Looks to me like you already has.
Pigeon face.
Buckethead!
Quiet, all of you, please. Now let's have some nice music.
Tune in to 105.97 and 1173 for BBC Radio Loch Noch.
Why can't I just say push button 1?
Special news for all fans of our very own Loch Noch monster. Current activity at the Loch site turns out to be a survey by the Loch Marine Research Company into whether or not our own Loch Noch monster actually exists. And if so, will they be able to get a picture of him, her, or them? Stay tuned to this channel for further updates. And now, especially for knocking himself a record, the Monster Mash.
That's a lot of noise. So much for your Uncle Jack's theories about something sinister going on.
Good morning, everybody. All happy?
You're up early this morning, Uncle Jack.
Yes, I thought a brisk early morning walk in the country would do me good.
It looks as though you brought most of it back with you.
Yes, I had a slight accident.
Did you go to the loch?
I did indeed.
We've just been hearing about it on the radio.
What about my going to the loch?
No. They say the Loch Marine Research Company is looking for the Loch Noch monster.
And so much for your sinister goings-on.
I still say there's more going on there than a search for a plesiosaurus.
What?
Well, all the photographs I've seen of the Loch Noch monster suggest that it's actually a plesiosaurus, an underwater member of the dinosaur family.
Dinosaurs are extinct.
Not all. Many of their descendants are still around, and every now and then we discover an underwater animal we thought had been extinct for millions of years.
Oh, Jack, filling the kids' heads with nonsense about Loch Noch monsters.
I think you're all soft in the head. Uncle Jack went to the loch because he cares.
And did you find anything?
Why did you go to the loch, Jack?
1, because Cousin Angus is still missing. And 2, because of this.
Get that off the table.
What is it?
Trees down by the loch are infected with this growth. It's a toxic contamination, and that's why I think there's something sinister going on.
I'm back. And look what I've found on the doorstep.
That wasn't there when I came in a moment ago.
It's for Tammy.
There's more of that stuff, Uncle Jack.
There's no one out there now. What does the note say?
Stay away from the loch. Dad.
Your father?
Doesn't look like his handwriting.
It looks like scribble.
Like your writing.
Or as if someone's deliberately disguising their handwriting. Right, I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
How?
For a start, by finding out what's caused the growth on these twigs.
How do you propose to do that?
By contacting an old scientist friend of mine.
Cynthia Birdbath.
Birdwood.
Isn't she that mad professor?
She is not mad. A little eccentric, I grant you, but a genius at all things scientific. I shall send her these twigs by express post and find out if she can make anything of them.
That Tammy is horrible. She's going to ruin our holiday up here.
She's had a difficult time, Kate. Remember, her mother died a couple of years ago, and since then I rather think her Uncle Angus has spoilt her.
Spoiled? She's awful.
Try to understand her a bit better, Kate.
Yo, dude.
Are you the postmaster?
That's me, my man. The postie with the mostie. Like, what's happening? Lay it on me.
You don't think it'd be better if I laid it on the counter?
Hey man, humour. I can dig that.
Now look, I have to send this parcel as a matter of the utmost urgency.
Okay, let me get my head round that concept. Urgency.
Yes.
Urgency. No.
Yo.
Yo.
Hop-de-ho, along the line. Zam, 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 move that thing.
Hey, I'm with you, dude.
Yo.
Zoot, zoot. Pow, pow. 2 Iron Men.
Oh, with the juice?
Double juice. Pow.
Zam, zam. Well, that's on its way. With any luck, we should soon find out what's really going on at the McClog base.
I wonder who was in this boat, Robert, and what happened to them.
That'll be one of the great mysteries of life, Mr. McClog. Like, where do all the ballpoint pens go? As my old granny used to say, "Grare a beastie cree, de nar a muckle grey."
Thank you for that great and undoubtedly useless thought. In future, spare me your homespun philosophies.
The contamination appears to be growing, Mr. McClog.
Of course it's growing, you great haddock. You can see that by the stuff on the boat. I tell you, if the authorities got one whiff of what's going on here, we're in deep trouble.
It wasn't our fault.
It wasn't my fault. It was yours. We're using those thin plastic containers to dump the toxic waste.
You told me to get rid of the stuff cheaply.
Not that cheaply. And now all that toxic waste has come back into the law, causing environmental chaos. We'll get 20 years in prison apiece if the authorities find out.
They won't find out. You'll discover an antidote to the contamination before it gets out of hand.
That's why secrecy of my experiments is vital.
No one will interfere. That was a brilliant idea of yours, Mr. McClug. Telling people we were looking for the Loch Noch monster. The Loch Noch monster, indeed.
Mr. McClog, look at the radar. Here, on the screen.
What are you talking about? Good grief. It's enormous.